Brittany here. So it is time for my favorites of January, which I'm really excited to talk about. So first we're going to talk about movies, and I have my little list here. So I'll just be glancing over there every once in a while. So the first movie I want to talk about is the first movie I watched this year, which was Baby Driver. I had heard a lot of good things about Baby Driver before I saw it, but it was just one of those movies that I just kind of wasn't sure if I wanted to see it or not, but finally I caved in. I checked it out from my local library, and I really enjoyed it. The only, I'd say, weakness to the movie is that I don't think the characters are really developed that well. Like, I feel like I have a basic understanding of Baby, but I also feel like I don't know that much about Baby. Also, I felt like the relationship between Baby and Deborah was a little forced and quick. But like the action and the music and everything else about this film was really good. So I'd give Baby Driver 4 out of 5 stars. The next movie I watched was another one that I heard a lot of good stuff about, but it just took me a while to watch it. And that movie was Get Out. I was not sure what I was going to get with Get Out, but holy crap. This movie is so damn good. It is creepy, but the message and the story of it is just so thought-provoking, and just I actually remember I watched this twice because I just wanted to get absorbed in the story a second time. And this is another one I checked out from the library, and after watching it, I immediately bought it the next time I went to the store. If you've not seen Get Out, I highly recommend it. It's just so freaking good. And Jordan Peele did an amazing job with the script and directing. It's 5 out of 5. I loved it so much. Now, the next couple films, I don't have them physically, so we're just going to talk about them. The next one I watched is one I'm probably going to get a lot of crap in the comments about, but I finally saw Moana this month. I know, shocking. I don't know why it took me so long to watch Moana, but it did. But I can say I really enjoyed it. I'd say my only weakness for the film was there really wasn't a villain. But then again, that also didn't annoy me. I actually liked having a story where there wasn't a big bad. Now, you could argue there was a big bad, but to me, the story didn't really have a villain. I think the closest thing you could the villain in that film was the crab guy who sang Shiny, which, by the way, is my least favorite song in that film. This film had a lot of good music. I immediately checked out the soundtrack because I was like, oh my god, it's so good. But yeah, I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was very heartwarming. I teared up a couple times, and a lot of the times I did tear up had to do with Moana and her grandma, because, whew, those were emotional as hell. I really enjoyed Moana. I'd give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. The next movie I saw was a movie that I had heard good things about from a couple of movie review YouTube, specifically Chris Stuckman. And that was Paterson, which stars Adam Driver. I'm not even gonna lie, that's one of the reasons I watched it. But I was familiar with this director's filmmaking because I'd also seen Only Lovers Left Alive with Tom Hiddleston and Tilda Swinton by him. And I really remember enjoying that movie, so I figured I'd probably enjoy this as well. And I did. The thing is, with Paterson, it is not a movie for everyone, because the whole plot of the movie takes place in 1 week, and all it is Adam Driver's character Paterson. You basically just see his day-to-day life. Like, he does the same thing every day with maybe a couple things different happening that day, which is why I said it's not a movie for everyone, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. There were a couple parts where it got a little slow, but I thought the acting was really good. The direction and the cinematography was really good. I also really loved the voiceover work from Adam Driver when he was reading the poems, because Paterson is a poet. But yeah, overall I really enjoyed it, and I'd give it 4 out of 5 stars. The next movie I saw was The Big Sick, a movie I desperately wanted to see when it was in theaters, but it wasn't in a theater near me long enough, so I missed out. But when it came out on DVD, I quickly checked it out from the library because I was like, I have to watch this movie. And it was so worth it. The Big Sick is a very lovely, sweet, hilarious romantic comedy. I love Kumail Nanjiani, I hope I said his name right, and Zoe Kazan's chemistry. I think they worked really well together. I also loved Holly Hunter and Ray Romano's chemistry with each other and with Kumail. And just the story was really sweet, and I think it's really also kind of brave for like Kunal and Emily, his real life wife, to kind of make a movie about their relationship. I just really loved The Big Sick. I'd give it 5 out of 5 stars. The next movie I saw was Fences, which stars Denzel Washington and Viola Davis, and this is actually the movie that Viola Davis won her Oscar. I mainly wanted to see this movie because Viola Davis. I really love her work, and I think she's an amazing actress. Not saying I didn't want to see it also because of Denzel. I do love Denzel Washington, but for me, I mainly wanted to see Fences because of Viola. I will say it took me a little bit to get into this movie, though. I think maybe 30-40 minutes into the film, I felt the plot finally kicked in a little, so I was finally able to get into it. That doesn't take away from the movie at all, but I was a little sad that it took me so long to get into it. I was starting to think, oh god, I don't like this. But like I said, after that 30-40 minute mark, the plot kind of picked up for me and I started to enjoy it more. The performances were amazing. I don't understand how Denzel didn't win the Oscar for this. Oh my god. He was so good in this, and the supporting cast was just as amazing as Denzel and Viola. I will say, going into this knowing that it was originally a stage play, I actually could feel that in the movie. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but that's just how I perceived it. Watching it, it felt like a stage play to me. But I still really enjoyed the movie, and I thought Denzel did a really good job at directing this film, too. I'd actually forgotten about that until I got to the credits and it said directed by Denzel Washington. I was like, oh yeah, Denzel directed this. But kind of like with Paterson, I don't think this film is for everyone, but I would strongly recommend giving it a chance. So I'd give Fences 4 out of 5 stars. And then the last movie I saw in January was The Greatest Showman. I actually thought I was going to have to wait till this came out on DVD, but I went to hang out with one of my friends, and her and her boyfriend wanted to go see it, so I kind of tagged along and we went and saw it. I loved this so much. I thought the cast was amazing. I especially loved the actress who played the bearded lady. She was so good. The music was incredible. I bought the soundtrack. I've listened to it on repeat. It's so freaking good. My only critique for the movie, and this is a slight spoiler, so just spoiler warning, I felt the drama between Barnum and Jenny was forced and kind of unnecessary. I mean, I understood the point of it in the plot, but it just didn't mesh as well with the rest of the film. It just seemed out of place. Overall, like I said, I really enjoyed it. I can't wait for it to come out on DVD so I can watch it again. And I'd give The Greatest Showman 4 out of 5 stars. So I only have one TV show this month, and I started watching this show because my best friend T, she made me watch the first 2 episodes at her house, and I was instantly hooked. And that show is Younger, which airs on TV Land. If you don't know what it's about this woman who's 40, and she's trying to get a job, but no place will hire her because she's an older woman. And so one of her friends kind of convinces her after she gets hit on at a bar that maybe she should just try to lie and say she's younger than she is. And it actually works. She goes to a publishing house and says she's 26, and they believe her, and now she's working at this publishing house, and she's making friends with her coworkers, and she's got a boyfriend, and in reality she's a 40-year-old woman. It's hilarious. It has its dramatic parts, but for most of it, it is a comedy. I really love Younger. I've already binged the first season. I'm halfway through season 2. There's 4 seasons right now, and it's not even that long. The episodes on Hulu are about 22 minutes long, and the seasons look to be about 12 episodes a season. You will get through it really fast, I promise. I highly recommend Younger. So the next thing I want to talk about is I read one book this month, and that was The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh. Now, The Rose and the Dagger is a sequel to her first book, The Wrath and the Dawn, and this is part of a duology. I read The Wrath and the Dawn last year. I don't remember what I gave it, but if you go onto my blog, you'll be able to find a review there. Or my Goodreads. Either one, you'll find the review. But I really love The Rose and Dagger. One of my biggest problems with The Wrath and the Dawn was I felt it took too long to really get the story going. That was not the case with The Rose and Dagger. It kicked off immediately. We went right into the story and the drama and the action. And oh my god, I loved it so much. I cried really hard near the end. Some things happened that I did not like. That made me upset. But I really loved The Rose and the Dagger. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I definitely enjoyed it more than The Wrath of Dawn, which is not anything against The Wrath of Dawn. It just took me too long to get into it, where I didn't have that problem with The Rose and Dagger. And Renee Ahdieh does such a good job at world building and making you relate and feel something for her characters, and I can't wait to read more of her work. I really loved this duology, and I just want to read more. Hey guys, so I had more video on this favorites, but something went really wrong and the files got corrupted. I just haven't had the time to re-record, and I didn't want to bullshit my way through the rest of my favorites, so I'm just going to make this and say I did have some other stuff specifically with music and wrestling, but on my blog I've also been posting my favorites there, and I do have all the music and wrestling I wanted to talk about here in this video written down there. So if you want to hear my opinions about some of the albums I listened to in January and the wrestling I watched, I will leave a link down below to the specific article. Also, I should just note, if you guys want to know what my favorites were in November and in December, you can also look on my blog for those. Just kind of putting that out there. But yes, I'm so sorry guys. I wish I could give you the rest of the footage, but I don't have the time, and the files were corrupted. This is the best I can do, because I want to get this up soon. I hope you guys enjoyed what you did see of my video, and I hope you guys will check out the blog posts to read about the music and wrestling I experienced in January, because I'd love to hear your guys' opinions and thoughts on it. But yeah, sorry guys, I'll try to make sure nothing like this happens next month. But you know, things happen, and this is the best solution I can come up with. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Until next month. Bye guys.